Have you ever thought, fish is always a safe bet, it's lean, it's light, and it's good for the heart? Well, that's partly true. But let me tell you something, I wish someone had told me years ago. Not all fish are created equal. Some types of fish, especially the wrong kind, cooked the wrong way, can quietly raise your cholesterol, increase inflammation, and even put your heart health at risk. I learned that the hard way. Years ago, I thought I was eating healthy, baked fish 3 times a week. But I was choosing the wrong fish. High in mercury, low in omega-3s, and worst of all, fried when I was too tired to cook. It wasn't until my doctor pulled out my blood pressure chart and said, "Harold, your heart needs more than fish. It needs the right fish, cooked the right way." That one sentence changed my plate, and my life. So in today's video, we're going to break it all down together. Which types of fish are truly good for your heart? How to cook them without losing their benefits? And the fishy mistakes that may be hurting your health without you even realizing it. Quick question before we dive in. Do you eat fish regularly? Comment "fish for heart" if you do, and let's see how many of us are on the same journey. And make sure to stick around, because in segment 8, I'll walk you through how I prepare my favorite wild-caught salmon recipe, heart-smart and simple enough for any senior to try at home. Let's start with one of the most surprising heart risks I've ever discovered: high mercury fish. Yes, that includes swordfish and king mackerel, 2 types often praised for their bold flavor and texture. I used to love a good swordfish steak, grilled to perfection, a squeeze of lemon. But what I didn't know was that these large predator fish contain alarming levels of mercury. Why does that matter? As we age, our bodies become less efficient at filtering toxins. Mercury builds up slowly and silently. It affects our cardiovascular system, our nervous system, and even memory and focus. In fact, mercury exposure has been linked to increased blood pressure, arterial inflammation, and a higher risk of heart attack or stroke. And let me tell you, no fish is worth that risk. What makes it worse? Most folks don't even realize swordfish and king mackerel are on the high mercury list. They think, it's fish, it's healthy. But not all fish are created equal. If you want to take care of your heart, steer clear of these high mercury choices, especially if you're eating fish more than once a week. Comment below if you've ever had swordfish or king mackerel before. Just type, "Didn't know that." Let's see how many of us were caught off guard. And up next, we'll talk about a tiny swap that cuts mercury and boosts heart health at the same time. Don't miss it. Now you might be asking, if swordfish and king mackerel are risky, what fish is safe for the heart? Great question. Because here's the good news, there are smart, heart-friendly alternatives. Let me introduce you to 2 of my favorites, sardines and wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Sardines might be small, but they're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and calcium, all of which support healthy arteries and reduce inflammation. Plus, because they're tiny, they sit low on the food chain and absorb very little mercury. And salmon? If it's wild-caught, especially from Alaska, it's one of the best heart-protective proteins you can eat. Why? Because it has a perfect omega-3 to omega-6 balance, it supports blood pressure and helps reduce plaque buildup in the arteries. Here's what I do: twice a week, I pan-sear salmon with olive oil and herbs. For sardines, I add them to my salad or mix them with whole grain toast. Easy, simple, and my cardiologist approves. So, the lesson here? Don't give up on fish. Just swap the dangerous for the nourishing. Your heart, and your memory, will thank you for it. What's your favorite way to cook heart-healthy fish? Share in the comments. And keep watching, because next we'll uncover the hidden dangers of farmed fish, and how to tell the safe from the risky. Here's something that surprised even me: not all salmon is good salmon. In fact, if you're over 60, the difference between wild-caught and farmed fish could affect more than just your cholesterol. It could influence your inflammation levels, immune health, and even blood pressure. Let me explain. Farmed fish, especially farmed salmon, are often raised in crowded pens and fed unnatural diets. These fish are exposed to antibiotics, chemical colorants, and even toxic pollutants like PCBs, all of which can harm your heart and increase your stroke risk over time. You might not taste the difference, but your body knows. A friend of mine, Harold Jr., used to eat salmon twice a week. He thought he was making a smart heart choice. But his inflammation markers were still high. After switching to wild-caught salmon, those markers dropped, and his doctor was impressed. So if the label doesn't say, wild-caught, skip it. Better yet, look for Alaskan or Pacific sources. And yes, it might cost more, but the real price is your health. Coming up next, how cooking methods can undo even the healthiest fish choices, and what to avoid to keep your heart safe. Comment below, have you ever noticed a difference in how you feel after eating farmed versus wild fish? Now let's talk about something we don't always think about, but should, how we cook our fish. Even if you choose the healthiest fish, like wild-caught salmon or sardines, you could be canceling out their benefits if you cook them the wrong way. Here's the problem: frying fish in vegetable oils, especially at high heat, creates compounds called oxidized fats and trans fats. These increase bad cholesterol, raise inflammation, and place extra strain on your arteries. Not exactly what we want when protecting our heart health. Let me tell you what happened to me. Years ago, I used to love pan-fried trout. Crispy skin, golden edges, it was delicious. But my blood pressure wasn't. After a nutrition consult, I learned that the method of cooking, not just the food, was impacting my cardiovascular health. I switched to baking, steaming, and grilling, and not only did my blood pressure improve, but I felt more energetic after meals. Here's a tip. Use olive oil or avocado oil if you're cooking at low to medium heat. These are heart-healthy oils that preserve omega-3s and protect your arteries. Avoid deep frying or charring the fish. These methods produce harmful free radicals. Next up, the most nutrient-dense, low-mercury fish for seniors over 60. Tiny, humble, and surprisingly powerful. Tell me below, what's your favorite way to cook fish? And have you tried switching to a HeartSmart method? When I was a kid, my dad used to open a can of sardines and eat them straight with crackers. Back then, I turned up my nose. Fish in a tin? No, thank you. But now, decades later, I see it differently. Because sardines, those tiny little swimmers, are one of the most heart-protective fish you can eat. Here's why. Sardines are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, calcium, and selenium, all crucial for heart health, especially as we age. And because they're small and low on the food chain, they carry very low mercury levels, making them a safe seafood choice for seniors. Plus, you eat the bones, which might sound strange, but those soft bones are rich in calcium, helping to protect not just your heart but your bones as well. They're also surprisingly versatile. I like mine mixed into salads, mashed onto toast, or stirred into warm grains with a squeeze of lemon. Just be sure to look for sardines in olive oil or water, not in soybean oil or sauces high in sodium. Have you tried sardines lately? If not, maybe it's time to give them another look. Stick around, we've still got 2 more fish to explore, and one of them is often misunderstood as unhealthy when it's actually one of the best for seniors. I still remember the first time I went trout fishing with my grandson, Jacob. It wasn't about the fish, we didn't even catch that many. But that moment, standing beside the river, sun on our backs, taught me something. Simple things, done right, can be surprisingly powerful. And when it comes to heart health, trout is exactly that. Rainbow trout, especially when wild-caught or responsibly farmed in clean environments, is one of the safest, low-mercury fish for seniors. It's rich in omega-3s, potassium, and protein, and it's incredibly easy to cook. Unlike heavier fish, trout has a delicate flavor that's gentle on the stomach, making it perfect for older adults with sensitive digestion. What really stands out? It contains niacin, also known as vitamin B3, which helps reduce bad cholesterol, LDL, and improve blood flow. That's a big win for your heart and arteries. My favorite way? Pan-seared with a sprinkle of dill and lemon. Takes under 10 minutes, but your heart will thank you for hours. If you're looking for a way to reduce blood pressure, lower cholesterol, and support your cardiovascular system, all in one plate, trout deserves a spot on your weekly menu. Still with me? Because up next is a fish that many folks fear, but when prepared right, it's one of the greatest allies for heart health. Let me share a story from a recent church gathering I attended. One of my longtime friends, Bill, 78, diabetic and a stroke survivor, came up to me with a question. "Harold, I've heard about salmon and sardines, but what about herring? Is it heart-friendly?" "You bet it is, Bill. Herring is one of the most underrated heart-healthy fish out there. It's rich in omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and selenium, a trio that supports arterial flexibility, reduces inflammation, and boosts blood circulation. And for older adults, it plays a critical role in keeping blood pressure in check and minimizing the risk of heart attacks. One thing I love about herring? It's naturally low in mercury, so it's safe even if you eat it regularly. Now, not all herring is created equal. Look for Atlantic herring or pickled herring from reputable sources. And here's a tip, pair it with some whole grain crackers and fresh herbs, it makes for a flavorful, nourishing evening meal. So let me ask you, have you ever tried herring? Leave a comment below with Herring Hero if it's something you're willing to add to your weekly menu. And stick around, because our final fish is one you might already love, but only if you cook it the right way. Let me take you back to a lakeside cabin where I once spent a summer with my cousin Dan. Dan was 72 then, recovering from a mild heart attack. The doctor told him, "Harold, if Dan wants to bounce back, get him on heart-healthy protein fast, but skip the heavy stuff." That's when I introduced Dan to rainbow trout, and we never looked back. This gentle-tasting fish is packed with lean protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and potassium, a combo that supports cardiovascular health, reduces blood pressure, and helps prevent arterial stiffness. What's more, rainbow trout is farmed responsibly in the US, which means low mercury, clean feed, and strict health standards, especially compared to many imported farmed fish. The best way to enjoy it? Lightly baked or pan-seared with a touch of lemon and herbs. It's tender, flavorful, and easy on senior digestion. So if you're looking for a mild fish that won't overwhelm your senses but does wonders for your arteries, trout should be on your radar. Drop a comment below, have you ever tried rainbow trout? Type trout for the heart if it's going on your next shopping list. And stay tuned, because we've got one last fish to round out this heart-protecting lineup, and it's probably in your pantry right now. Let's talk about a fish that often flies under the radar, flounder. This mild-flavored, lean white fish is an excellent choice for those seeking heart-healthy options. Flounder is low in fat but provides a good source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are known to support cardiovascular health by reducing inflammation and lowering blood pressure. Moreover, flounder is low in mercury, making it a safe option for seniors. Its delicate texture and subtle taste make it versatile for various cooking methods, baking, grilling, or steaming. I recall preparing flounder for my mother during her recovery from a heart procedure. She appreciated its lightness and how it didn't upset her digestion, yet still provided the necessary nutrients. If you're looking for a gentle, heart-friendly fish, flounder might just be your new go-to. Have you tried cooking with flounder? Share your favorite recipes in the comments below. Stay tuned for our final segment, where we'll wrap up with key takeaways on selecting the best fish for heart health. So, what have we learned today? Choosing the right fish for heart health isn't just about eating more seafood. It's about being intentional, knowing which species are low in mercury, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and gentle on aging bodies. From wild-caught salmon to sardines, from flounder to trout, Each fish we discussed offers unique benefits for the cardiovascular system, reducing blood pressure, supporting cholesterol levels, and protecting your arteries from inflammation. But equally important, we've learned what to avoid: fish high in mercury, often farmed in unsafe conditions, or misleadingly labeled. These are the quiet threats that build up over time and can erode your heart health without warning. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about protection. One better choice today can lead to a healthier tomorrow. If this video helped you feel more confident in your fish choices, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on practical, senior-friendly health tips. And tell us in the comments, what fish will you be adding or avoiding starting this week? Stick around, because in our next video, we'll reveal 5 overlooked foods that secretly support blood circulation, and one of them is probably in your kitchen right now. Until then, this is Harold, wishing you strong hearts and wise choices. Take care.